What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about the FAQ for Armor Purge, which I don't think we ever actually did, because it's a new skill coming around. It came around in BT8, actually. We do see it in BT9 as well. It's on a bunch of Digimon. I'm going to use Submarimon as an example, because it's adorable. But essentially, it's a new skill whereby when the Digimon would be deleted, you trash the top card of the Digimon to prevent it being deleted. So Submarimon is a level 4 blue-yellow Digimon. Essentially what happens is that you would be deleted, but instead of being deleted, you turn around and go, ha ha ha, not quite so fast. I'm going to lose Submarimon. And I am going to go back and be a level 3 Digimon now, which is slightly upsetting, but I'd rather go back to being a level 3 Digimon than, going away altogether. That's how Armor Purge works. But like with every new keyword skill that comes around, there are inevitably going to be some questions that people have, so we should probably have a look at the FAQ that the lovely folks over at Bandai did go and produce. Although we also need to give a massive shout out to the lovely folks over at Game Academia, specifically the lovely Jason Snowjacks, who did actually provide the translation of this, because as much as I'm learning Japanese, my Japanese is coming on quite nicely. I am not at the translating official FAQ stage yet, unfortunately. Hopefully one day, in the next couple of years, but we're not there yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're not there yet. So, Armor Purge. Does discard one card from the top of this Digimon mean discard the topmost evolution source? No. You discard the top card of the Digimon, not the top evolution source. So, like I said with Submarimon a moment ago, that would be the Submarimon. It works in the same way that D-Digivolve works. After activating Armor Purge, the topmost card that was in the evolution sources will then become the Digimon, so the level 3 that was under there. Makes perfect sense. What if you've got a Digimon that has Armor Purge, but also has a deletion skill? Does that work? Well, no. Because the Digimon wasn't deleted, ladies and gentlemen. It's a deletion skill. It comes in when you get deleted. The whole point of Armor Purge is that you don't get deleted. And if you don't get deleted, then your Armor Purge skill cannot possibly come in. So for instance, the Gomamon from BT1 has an inheritable skill that on deletion you gain a memory. Well, if the Submarimon were to get deleted, but Armor Purge to save itself, you wouldn't gain one memory from Gomamon. In fact, Gomamon would now become your top Digimon, which is kind of cool if you ask me. I like this one. But yeah, that would be an absolute mictate, would never work. If the card was discarded by Armor Purge had received effects, does the Digimon that remains keep those effects? I.e. if a card had given it security attack +1 or extra power or things of that nature. And the answer is yes. Most of the time. So, for instance, we've seen multiple times that when you Digivolve, these effects stay around. If your opponent had used a card to denote that you couldn't attack this turn, you still wouldn't be able to attack. If you'd given yourself security attack +1, you wouldn't lose that security attack +1. And similarly, any effects that target all Digimon, this is still a Digimon, so it would still totally work. What happens if a Digimon activates Armor Purge when it is deleted due to having 0 power? So we've seen this in yellow decks since yellow decks became a thing, honestly. Coming in, dropping your power, it's kind of what they do. Nightmon would be an example. One of about 57 million examples, but an example nonetheless. Does that affect the way in which Armor Purge will actually activate? Well, yes, but unfortunately not in any way that matters. So to go back to our example, you've got Submarimon, its DP is lowered to 0. So Armor Purge kicks in, and you go down to Gomamon. Unfortunately, Gomamon's power is still 0, so you still end up getting deleted. It's a little bit sad, unfortunately, that's the way it is, but the fact of the matter is, Armor Purge will kick in, but you'll still have 0 power after Armor Purge kicks in, and it will not save you. If a Digimon with Armor Purge has no evolution sources due to other effects or other reasons, can it still activate Armor Purge? So we know that blue decks do this all the time, getting rid of all of these evolution sources. And they've been doing it like right since the very beginning of the game. You can go back to the blue starter deck, and we had things that were getting rid of evolution sources. Zubamon would be a nice example. If you end up with no evolution sources, well, of course you can't Armor Purge. How would that work? There is no Digimon there to save. Essentially, even if you could Armor Purge, you would Armor Purge and then no Digimon would be left there anyway, and it would be like you'd been deleted. So, sorry ladies and gentlemen, fun idea, never gonna work. If my Digimon with Armor Purge has Security Attack +1, performs its security check and loses the battle against a Security Digimon in the first check, can I then activate Armor Purge, prevent its destruction, and still do the second check? Absolutely. As long as the Digimon has Security Attack +1. I.e., if Security Attack +1 is written on the Digimon, and so far I don't believe we've had any that actually have this written on, but if they have it written on, then you lose a card that's got Security Attack +1, you don't have it. If, however, it's a skill and option card, something along those lines, that grant you Security Attack +1, then at that stage, like we said earlier, the fact that you Armor Purge, you're still the same Digimon, you still keep any effects, and therefore you would still be able to do the second check. It is whether you've had it granted on the Digimon as a whole, or whether it is written specifically on the card that has since been purged away. If a Digimon with Retaliation and Armor Purge loses a battle with a Digimon, and I activate Armor Purge to stop it being deleted, does Retaliation activate? And this is something you could absolutely see happening. Of course, we've seen Retaliation as an inheritable skill on a bunch of Digimon. So all you really need to do here is just Digivolve something from one of them, and you'll be absolutely fine. To be fair, at the moment, as I'm looking, and correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about this, I don't believe we've seen it as an inheritable skill on a level 3. We've only seen it as an inheritable skill on level 4 Digimon, and I don't think we've seen any level 5s with Armor Purge or Armor Release. So it's not a skill we can actually use yet, but potentially in the future. Well, no, of course it doesn't work. Why would it work? The whole point of Retaliation is that you take down a Digimon with you when you get deleted, and the whole point of Armor Purge is to stop you being deleted. So no, of course it's not going to work. You can't use a skill that stops you getting deleted, and then use a skill that's predicated on you being deleted. How would that work? No. My opponent's Digimon with Piercing attacked my Digimon, and my Digimon lost the battle. So I activate Armor Purge to prevent it being deleted. What happens to my opponent's Piercing? Again, nothing happens. Because once again, Piercing, very much like Retaliation, is a skill that is predicated upon deleting a Digimon. Deletion is key. We don't have a deletion here. So you cannot delete a Digimon in battle and survive, which are literally the requirements for Piercing. While a Digimon saves itself from being deleted using Armor Purge, you can't have both of those two things happening at the same time. Either a Digimon has been deleted, Piercing, or a Digimon has not been deleted, Armor Purge. Simple. Can a Digimon with only a level 2 card in its evolution sources activate Armor Purge? Let's say you've got something like a Submarimon, but your opponent used one of those blue skills to get rid of an evolution source. So you've only got the level 2 and then Submarimon. Can I still use Armor Purge? I mean, yes. But like we said about dropping power, it's not going to mean anything. Because what's going to happen is you're going to Armor Purge, you're going to be left with a level 2 Digimon. And we all know at this stage, level 2 Digimon cannot exist in the battle area. So unfortunately, that would then be deleted. And there we go. Or discarded. Because it's not actually been deleted, just discarded. And finally, what happens if a Digimon with a Tamer card in its evolution sources activates Armor Purge, and that Tamer card becomes the topmost card of the stack? Again, at this stage, not a huge deal, because the armor purges we've got tend to be level 4s, and hybrid Digimon tend to be level 4s, so you're not digivolving one of them into the other. But absolutely, this is something that could happen in the future. And the answer very simply is, yeah, you have a tamer out. You armor purge down, tamer is there, you're good to go. The important thing, however, is that tamer is not considered to have been played. It's just there, which means any play skills you might have on any particular tamers won't activate. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Sorry about that. But you still get to have the tamer out there and rolling, so that's quite nice, right? And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bunch of interesting questions about Armor Purge. Apologies it took me a little while to get to this one. It's been busy over here, alright? But we got there in the end, ladies and gentlemen. We got there in the end, and now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about these rulings. I want to know what you think about Armor Purge. I want to know what you think about basically anything. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.